So one of the first questions you'll have once you've decided to home educate your son or daughter is, which school should I choose? There are so many in Alberta to choose from. How do you know which is really the best fit for you and your child? Great question, great place to start. Because here in Alberta, the good news is that you have a very just lots of choices. That can also be a bad thing too, because there are so many to choose from. So how do you go about choosing the one that's best for you? Well, I would suggest that you look at four main things. The first would be the philosophy. Really, the most important thing to look at is the philosophy of the school program itself toward home education. The next would be the programs that they offer, and then the supports that they offer, and then lastly, but it's needed to look at, which is the reimbursement process of the home ed funding that you'll receive. But let's go back to the very most important criteria, and that is the philosophy of the school towards you and homeschooling. So by philosophy, I mean, does the school view you, the parent, as the one who is in charge? Are you responsible for the program, for choosing the resources and the methods and the strategies and the timing and the topics and the subjects and all those things that go into an education plan? Are you, the parent, in control? Or does the school view you as perhaps just the person who will deliver a school-determined program at home? So sometimes I call that school at home as opposed to homeschooling or home educating. So again, philosophy of the program is huge. It will manifest itself in just about every aspect of your experience with that school. So be sure to ask questions of the program regarding your role and authority within the home ed program. The second criteria that you'll want to examine when you're going about deciding which program to join would be the programs that they actually offer under the umbrella of home education. By programming, I mean sometimes a school can say, join our home ed program, and then they start talking about perhaps a shared responsibility program, or that used to be called blended, or maybe they use the term aligned. Join our home ed program that's aligned to home ed schooling, or all these other sub-programs within the larger term of home education. The program that we offer here at The is home education. We don't offer shared responsibility. We don't get into aligned, which is not an official program within Alberta Ed. That's another topic altogether. But here at The, we offer traditional home education. So the term traditional home education is a term you'll likely hear, and the term traditional is actually not part of the official terminology, but the word traditional has been used to describe home education that is parent directed. So again, when you're going about deciding which program is best for you and your family, if you've decided that you, the parent, want to be the sole provider of the instruction, you want to be the sole determiner of the resources and topics and sequence and all of that, then you'll want a parent-directed home education program. That does not include shared responsibility. That won't include aligned or anything else. So just make sure what you want is directly linked to what the program is offering. So again, let me get back to the term traditional. The word traditional has been included, kind of a slang term, to differentiate parent-directed home education from all the other things that are involved. Some people think online learning is home education, and it's not. Online learning is learning at home, but it's school at home. So the location isn't the determining factor for home education. It's who's in charge. That's the key determinant. So if the parent is in charge, then you have a parent-directed program. So if that's what you want, then make sure that the school that you're choosing can guarantee to you that you are in registering, notifying your child in a parent-directed home education program, and that you're not getting into a program that's teacher-directed or a mix of teacher-directed and parent-directed. So again, just remember, just because your son or daughter is at home doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting involved with a home education program. So that's a key area to look at. The next would be the supports that your home educating program will offer to you. You know, are you left on your own just to figure it out, or do they offer support to you from the main office and from your assigned facilitator? Just what kind of supports do they offer? The fourth, and I would say it's the least important, but it's still an important thing to look at, which is the funding. How does your program handle reimbursements? Because each of your children will receive funding from the government, and each program in the province handles those reimbursements differently. So you'll want to ask if the program you're interested in handles or offers purchase orders. Do you have to pay everything up front out of pocket, and then you have to wait for reimbursement? And if you are having to wait for a reimbursement check from the school, how long do you have to wait? How often, how frequently does your program personnel review reimbursement requests? Here at we look at reimbursement requests pretty much on a weekly basis. There are some programs that look at reimbursements only once a semester. So if that's important to you in terms of getting that reimbursement back quickly, be sure to ask about that as well. So those are the four things to look at. Again, just to summarize philosophy, I would definitely make sure that you're aligning yourself with, or you're partnering with a school program, a home education program that supports you and that will affirm your beliefs and values toward home educating. So again, philosophy, number one for sure. And then what kind of supports, what kind of programming is going to be part of that. And then finally, what kind of supports do you get for financial reimbursement?